This is our May 18th lesson. We're at Atomic Ballroom. First and foremost, we talked about making sure that when we decide to play in the context of the partnership, that we are not disregarding the direction and the rotation. So I'm going to borrow John really quickly. I'm going to have you on this side for the underarm that we had practiced at the beginning. So there was a dance that you had posted recently, and you did an underarm like this, and you came through and something hit the music, so you just started doing this, right? I'm now disregarding the direction and the rotation of my lead. Instead, what I can do is if I hear something, I can come through here and maybe ask my leader to join in with me as we then move, right? So I want it to be in conjunction with the direction and rotation that the leader's providing, unless I am trying to make a change. Now we talked about this, it's a little too early for intermediate. There's some other things you have to work on, but if I wanted to make a change, I need to create a compression in the middle of that action to tell the leader, hey, I want to do something different, okay? And I'm gonna come back to that once we talk about some other things, yes? In the meantime though, the ideas of playing are really good, but do it with your leader, don't disregard the leader. And I try to not do it when my leader's behind me here. I do that sometimes, but that's usually because I've known my dance partners for about 20 years, right? If I draw like a Benji or a Benmo or Kyle or any of those guys, I've known them for such a long time, and the connection is strong enough that I can look away. You don't want to play with that too early, okay? Mm-hmm. We're going to go into rotations next. So we talked about the idea of starting it here. So this is my free spin, 1, 2, and I'm transitioning, okay? Here into that 2, I don't want to use my arm to throw and descend. I want to make sure that it's just my body moving through, okay? Talked about practicing on a line and making sure we're as straight in that line as possible, okay? So even just practicing basic shines. First step is usually fine. Second step is usually fine. It's this third step where I'm kind of bringing that foot back and around, or redo of the first step, that we linger and we don't really commit the weight. So energy needs to drive, all down the line, okay? Even if I'm not moving much, the energy is still moving down the line, okay? We did a drill practicing of moving the heel of our standing leg, just pressing it around. That alone should get me at least a quarter of a turn, if not half a turn, okay? Talked about balance, so being poised over the balls of my feet, okay? So I'm not shifting and rocking, weight is forward, lifting up and down. Making sure we're not rolling to the outside edge. I just didn't want to roll my ankles, that's why I bent my knees. In between the big toe and the second toe, and I'm lifting everything up, tucking the hips underneath, okay? When we let them kind of go sway, it's really hard to sustain that balance, all right? Then in the context of the partnership, I want to make sure I'm spotting the leader, and I come through 1, 2. I kind of do that tondo. I'm doing an and transition, and closing my right side to my left to go through that rotation. Right side to left to send that energy down the line. Okay, then we went into frame, connection, and movement, okay? We talked about engaging the bicep. So going through first position, second position. We're not trying to tense and show off our guns in either position. Instead, we're engaging lats to our back and thinking about holding our frame, okay? We did a push-up on the wall. We also do it with our partner through the compression and the extension. Arms are bending, but I don't want to let my titties go forward, right? Mm-hmm. Don't show this video to anyone else, that'll be weird. Yeah, these are anti-titty anyway. So when I shift forward, the weight's going into the balls of my feet, my frame is engaged, and I'm backing out, yeah? So I'm not bending the arms back here and letting things go. Frame is engaged, bend, and forward. See how I'm shifting that weight in?
Yes.
And then out. So I have toes to heel, right? Or ball of the foot to heel. And when we talk about that extension away, if we think about physical distance, how I hold my body, so more upright, and then settle back into that heel with my frame being engaged, then I have connection. Because now it's body weight away. Now if I want a little lighter connection, I just shift the weight a little bit more forward, right? If I want a little bit heavier, I can shift it further back, right? So that physical distance, where I settle my weight in the heel or in the toe. Now when you're back in the extension, toe is not what we want, but toe forward with compression, just to be clear. Anywhere from the back part of the heel to the front of the heel to the mid part of the arch is fine. I think that's up to you. How heavy a connection do you want? When we practiced just basic sugar pushes, you kept foregoing the frame. So what we did is we held both hands, got our frame intact, settled back and away, and then just shifted forward, shifted forward into a compression and an extension, just to feel that because we were foregoing our frame. So we want to just practice going forward and back, keeping the frame engaged, and just practicing. So I'm shifting from heel to toe and moving through. Okay?
Okay.
Those were the main things. I don't think I missed anything.
No.